Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Spence and Marissa here with Core 4x4. Just like we promised you guys last week, we're gonna be doing our XJ series again, and we're showing you our rear bumper today. We're really excited to show you which one we picked out.
This did come in the mail last week, and we still haven't opened it up yet. We wanted to do that on camera so we could take a look at it for the first time with you. This is another bumper from DirtBound Offroad. It is their Highline series bumper. It's a new one for the rear of the XJ. So let's get it on the table, let's get it opened up, and let's see what we have.
All right.
We don't keep knives at the studio, just Sawzall blades. You wrap them pretty good. So we got it unwrapped. This is our Highline series rear bumper from DirtBound Offroad for the Jeep Cherokee XJ. Now, I'm liking it already. I'm a fan of low profile type bumpers that just look clean on the Jeep, and this is another one of those, much like the front. So this bumper comes with the receiver for your hitch. You got these 1/2-inch plate D-ring mounts here, as well as cutouts back here for any lighting you want to put in it as well. The brackets are a little unique. There is a little bit of cutting. No welding on this install. We just have to cut out a little bit on the rear for these to slide inside your frame rail. And I'm excited to see how these brackets work. They are designed to have more lateral support and to be adjustable left to right or laterally on the Jeep. But first, we got to get it coated. So we're going to get it over to Sandblasting. We're going to give it a nice etch on everything, and then we are going to powder coat this to match the front. Let's go to powder. All right, let's go put it on. All right, so we just got back from the other shop, just finished powder coating this bumper and the brackets, this beautiful orange to match the front bumper, and we're gonna put it on. Now, before we get to that, there is a little bit of cutting, but we left our old bumper mounts on when we took the original one off, so we're gonna get those off and then start marking out for cutting, and we're gonna show you how all this goes together. So we got our rear brackets off. They were a little rusty, but really the main issue we had was with this little nut rail that goes inside your frame. On this one, your exhaust hanger and your exhaust shield for the gas tank bolt to it. We do need to get that out to trim on that side, but for now, we soaked it in penetrating fluid. We're gonna let it work its magic, and while it's doing that, we're gonna work on this side over here. Now, the trimming we need to do in order to use these brackets from DirtBound is just right here around this insert right on top of your frame rail. Really all it is just cutting out just enough space inside of your frame rail to get this bracket in and sitting flush on the bottom of the frame rail. Now, I really like what DirtBound has done with their brackets. So instead of having just the 4 bolts for the bumper mounts, we now have 3 more bolts along our frame rail to help support the rear bumper. It really firms up the rear end and gives us a lot more strength back here. So I'm gonna mark out where we're gonna cut, and we'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll start cutting. All right, so this section of the bracket is about 3.5 inches tall and almost 2 inches wide. So we're gonna go just a little bit bigger than that on our marks. Now, it's really centered around this hole here. This is the inside of your frame rail you can see on either side. I'm gonna go about 3.5 inches from the bottom of this edge here, just to give us a line, see where we're at. So we got a really simple, just rectangular shape marked out here. That's gonna sit right inside our frame rail and take out this bottom lip. We're gonna do it with the Sawzall. Let's see how well this blade does. Our cuts are super pretty. Oh, I should have got the grinder too. Test fit. Yeah. A little more trimming right there. There we go. Okay, so those were definitely not the prettiest cuts. On the driver's side all the way over, we were running into our shackle bolt. We do have an aftermarket shackle bolt in there, so it's quite long. But really all you care about is that this bottom surface sits flat on the inside of your frame rail to give you a nice seat with everything and to really reinforce the rear end. So now that we got the driver's side done, we're gonna move back to the passenger side. Hopefully the freeall did its thing and we're able to get those bolts out and we can do the rest of our cutting. Wasn't even attached. All right. I still want to use this gas tank shield, so I'm just gonna chop this and try to fish this back in to bolt that back up. All right, now that I got that front bolt started, I looped this around the rear nut. I'm just gonna give it a good yank and we should be able to get our fish wire out. So yeah. All right, so those 2 bolts in the nut rail that was inside the frame here came out pretty easily after putting some freeall on there. Now we do still want to utilize them for our gas tank exhaust shield and our hanger, even though our hanger is not attached. But to get at this rear bolt, I wanted to do our cut here so we have a little more room to work with to get that nut rail back in. So we're gonna mark out the same as we did with the driver's side to do a similar cut for our bracket and get everything together. Something like that. All right, well, we know where we need to cut. So I've gotten the frame brackets inside the frame rail and got all the frame bolts just started. Now before I tighten everything down, I did want to get our bumper brackets lined up because these bolts go all the way through both plates and then bolt right back into your body. And it's important to make sure you're lining up on all your holes before you start cranking things down. Okay, so we'll get all these started on the bumper brackets. And once we're happy that everything's gonna line up, I'm gonna torque down all the frame brackets and then we'll get to actually bolting the bumper on. So got everything semi-tight on the frame with the frame brackets. Right now we're testing everything. The way these brackets are designed is that they're slotted so you can shift your bumper left to right to really get it centered and lined up with your body lines. So now that we have it on here, we can see that we do need to shift about a 1/16 of an inch that way. So I'm gonna pop it off, smack the brackets over a little bit, get everything lined up how we want, and then we're gonna tighten everything down and just bolt the bumper on.
All right, so that wraps it up for this install, and I think it looks really good. I'm loving that it matches the front. And what do you think about that install?
Other than my terrible Sawzall skills, normally I'm better, but I don't know what it was cutting inside the frame rail there. I had a hard time.
I'm gonna blame it on the blade. It just needed a new blade.
No, the blade was fine.
That's why.
It was me.
That's why.
Other than that, went together really well. And just like the front from DirtBound, their bracket system really beefs up the mounts for these bumpers, and I really like that. The other thing I wanted to point out is that they do this extra detail on the corner here, so all your body lines are a lot cleaner. Just looks really good.
Yeah, it looks good. It blends in very well together.
Yeah. All right, so that about wraps it up for the Cherokee series. Really, all that we have left is, wheels and tires, some odds and ends. We're gonna tackle that in the next video and really just get her ready for the trails. And maybe we'll take her out and just see how she does.
It's summer, we can do it.
Yeah.
Why not? So
go flex her out.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. If you like the content, if you like the series, please like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.